Are the bookings coming back in now, Scotty? Or how's it been on your side, man? I think I've had a couple shouts this week.
Actually, I did my first one. So where are we now? Was it last weekend, the weekend before? I did one. So I've done there like 2 or 3 times. It's dope. Like it's yeah. I can't actually lie. Like
what is it? Is it a club booking? Is it like a rooftop thing? Is it a brunch?
It's a.
Be careful.
You have to be political. But to be fair, because I'm not putting it up because it's kind of like semi-invite only. But obviously, if you know, kind of thing. So it's a club, but basically with like a bar license, I guess.
Okay.
Right,
do you see what I'm saying? But it's not. Obviously, it's not big. It's still a small venue. So it's to be honest, it's a bit more. It's basically a bar, but it's just got that club kind of layout. So yeah, I mean it's small, like 150 people, 200 people, something like that. Intimate, and that like considering it's not and the thing is it's like a shrubs, bro. Low sweatbox, no lights.
They're the best ones, man.
No lights, so there's not even like you see 1 or 2 phones, but it's not even none of that. It's just literally everyone's vibing, and even if they're just sitting there, they're just cool. So for me, it's just like It's dope, you know what I mean? Especially to come back after so long.
Trust me.
It's like it's a good place to start as. Whereas, there's a few other places that I've seen videos and whatever, and people are still just either sitting on a chair or still just standing there doing all the food. And I'm like, you just sat there for 3 months cussing.
I was just about to say after 3-4 months, man. Do you get me?
Then the first thing you do when you go out is just like, do you know what I mean? Like, why are you doing that? Do you see what I'm saying? So
I hear it.
Yeah, for me, I'm fortunate that that one's been a good one so far. But that's what it is at the minute. But who knows what's gonna happen? I mean, right now it's kind of like it's just getting back into it. Because I even said to Dubs the other day, like I had the first week, as much as I got my folders there, it was like, bro, what do I play? Like,
yo, bro, I'm thinking of songs. I'm like, I forgot names of songs and shit.
This
I'm
is
like,
the thing. I was looking and I was like, you know what tune I actually forgot? What's it? The Murder in the Club, the Jacquees song.
Yeah.
Oh,
the thing is, I forgot who it was. I thought I knew Dej Loaf is on it, so I'm looking through alphabetical. I'm like, where's Dej Loaf? And I'm like, but it's not that. Then I'm like, the tempo, and I'm like, what's the tempo? Like, bro, it was mad. And when I finally found where it was like 2 tunes later, and I'm like, oh, that vibe's dead.
There's definitely some rust there, man.
It's gone.
But no, that's the thing. When I came back the next week, bro,
lit,
straight like. Bam, I knew exactly what I was doing.
It's like riding a bike, innit, man?
Yeah, bro.
You get back on, it's a little rusty at first.
Bro, I fully forgot names. I fully forgot everything. I was just like, bro, this is mad.
I had some preset jitters on Sunday, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, after just been playing in yard for this long and then 10 minutes before I go on, I'm like, why am I'm fucking nervous, bro? What's going on? I was like, I better show this thing now. This was a rooftop spot as well in Liverpool, and it was fire, man. Even just playing outdoors in general, the sun's out. You don't get to do that in the UK too much anyway. So for a first gig back, I was just playing hella bashment, and I was playing the rhythms like in the right order.
Were you mixing them all up? Yeah.
Yeah. I was jumping around a little bit. But now,
I've got a booking on Saturday, and I was saying this to you yesterday, Scotty. Like, it's a reggae thing. So it's just a reggae event, but basically it's not like a.
What a coincidence! Don't let him hear this podcast.
But I'll be honest, bruv. What I want to do, and this is the thing I was saying to Scotty yesterday, I just want to play trap and drill and just fucking turn up right now. Do you know what I mean? I want that proper
you've changed.
Energy shit. I want to do a Pop Smoke set and get everyone going upside down. But it's reggae. So it's a reggae brunch. So it's going to be like proper laid back, just a bit of fun.
No, but you can still play the up-tempo stuff probably. But the thing is, you know what, for me personally, like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing... The drill, all of that kind of stuff for me, like, it's turn up to a degree because you get your groups and it's all the hey jumping up and down. But how long are they really jumping up and down for? There's only so much time you can jump up and down for. Whereas the other stuff, the up-tempo stuff, but it's true though.
I hear you. I hear it.
And especially if it's man them doing it, even if they get the girls involved, like how many, it's just like, after 10 minutes, it's like, hey, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just literally, how much more are you going to do? Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I just want to do it for me, 6 minutes.
Like,
that's all I want. 6 minutes, and then I'm done.
Yeah, but no, that's fine. That's fine, bro. But like I said, you're probably going to have a mad time because there's gonna be so much vibes from it. Because even when I've been playing, it's literally the up tempo, the dance hall, all that kind of stuff. Especially where there's a lot of girls as well. That's what gets them up, and that's what gets people dancing.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And hopefully, with everything that's gone on in certain places anyway, if people start playing properly again, like, it can kind of semi-turn back into, like, people going out to party for partying reasons.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the place
I was
I'm
gonna
playing
say,
at,
do you feel like it's gonna do that with this break?
I don't
It
personally
felt
think
like that. It felt like that to me on Sunday, but that's one party, innit?
Right,
Like,
but it's one. But then maybe it happened where you were as well. But even where I am, where I'm seeing people, like, I'm playing Chris Brown songs and people are singing it out, or even with the Pop Smoke stuff, they're singing it, but they're enjoying it. Like, guys are enjoying it, girls are enjoying it. Like, there's that
Sick.
energy and that vibe there. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not
Sick.
just, guys are jumping up and down, or it may be just a girl tune, so the guys are standing there just like, it's like guys are like, it's like man them turned into Chris Brown and they thought it was Chris Brown doing their thing, and it was fun. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that whole fun element came back, and it's like, yeah, this is what I missed for a gazillion years.
Trust
this
me,
is
man.
You know what I mean? That's a party. So, and for me, that's what's always missed in a lot of these clubs over the years, regardless, even if it's bottle clubs and all these kind of things. Me personally, it's like, cool, still have your tables and stuff, but dance, innit? Have a good time,
Yeah.
jump up, do what you're doing. Like, all this standing around, it's like I said, like, you might as well just play everything on zero and just put an iPod shuffle on. Like, there's no point in us being there.
Don't encourage them to do that, bro, please. Because
There's people doing that.
Hopefully it sticks, man.
There's people doing that already.
Oh my days.
it's a problem. Scotty, let's talk about your international stuff, because I feel like you're a DJ that's done it extremely well and built a very solid career off of pretty much like a consistent world tour.
Yeah.
Like, see, like, I mean, I don't remember exactly the first time we met, but I do know the first time we almost, I guess, could say we became friends would be out in Cos, because we did so many bookings together.
No, that's
in
where,
Cos,
that's
right?
where we met. That's where we met.
Was that where we met? So,
Yeah.
and we obviously did so many shows together out there. Like, but I know because I was on the island permanently.
Yeah.
And then you would fly in and you'd be there for 6 hours, and then the next day you'd fly to Malaya.
Them ones.
And then the next day you'd fly to Falaraki, and the next day you're off to Ibiza. Then you're off to fucking Bulgaria for a day, and by the time when you came back to Cos the week later, you're like, yeah, I've just been sleeping on a plane for 7 fucking days. So it's great to see that you've basically, you've had an entire career of just being an international DJ. And how did you first of all, the question is, how did you get into the international side of it?
Internationally, to be honest, that's all down to Twice as Nice, to be fair. It was when I got with them, they started, I mean, they had already the party islands and stuff and things like that, and then obviously it expanded from there. But at the same time, they were managing me as well. So, and obviously I was the resident, so it became like, well, you know, they'll put their brand wherever around the world, but then as the resident, they've now got someone they can send there instead of just sending the branding and not a random DJ, but let's just say, you know, whoever has got a name or something. Now they can send someone that's got, you know, a high skill set, and then, you know, we can all build together, kind of thing. So that's how that started, and then it just kind of escalated from there, because obviously, as you know, same with clubs, you go one place, they like you or they don't like you, whatever, and it just builds up in it. So over time, even when they stopped doing stuff, the places still wanted me back. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously,
Sick.
Everyone's different everywhere. So let's just say you go to Ibiza, there's people from, I don't know, Dubai there, for example, or wherever, and it's like, oh, I really like how you play. What's your number? Rare. And then it's like everything. It's all trial and error. Do you know what I mean? And then it just continuously goes on. And then, I guess it's just about consistency, because obviously, as we know, clubs don't last forever. So certain clubs either shut down or whatever, or the scene in those specific areas maybe just died out. Do you know what I mean? So some places I still go, some places I don't. It's been fortunate. I've been fortunate to, there's a lot of places I've been.
Scotty's he's been around the block, isn't he?
Yeah, been collecting those passport stamps, boy.
I feel like the power of the word of mouth like is unrivaled, in it. Like you say, you do a set, man will talk to the next one, whatever. Obviously, the internet is great, but I feel like that way that like I feel like there's just more longevity in that way of like growing your brand, in it, which has allowed you to do it for so long.
Yeah, I think it's helped with. I think it's helped with
go on.
especially like having DJs in certain positions. So like, let's just say Dubbl's in Cos, or he's done he's had his residencies along the coast, and then obviously you're up in Manny, even though you don't book me anymore. But you're
fucking hell,
you're up there.
Is man gonna send shots at me like that? Oh gosh.
But my point is like, obviously
can't afford you, Scotty.
but you guys actually see the level and the consistency, and obviously what it will bring to the event. Do you know what I mean? More than just, I'm going to book a headliner because they have a name.
Real talk.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you can book someone that's actually going to give you longevity as well as, a name and whatever else you get with it. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think that's also helped, because a lot of the places you go, especially if the DJ can see like, yo, yeah, we need this person back. Because, for example, as a resident, you probably... The amount of residents have told me, you see like a gazillion amount of DJs come through, big names, small names, and it's like, why do we have these people and they can't even do half of what these people can do? Do you see what I'm saying?
Bro,
so,
bro, the resident runs, man. Most times, obviously, unless there's a proper DJ coming through, I feel like you'll play with 100 headlines and none of them can do the job that the residents doing.
This is the thing. So it's a obviously, like I said, I've built the name and the brand up over the years, and I've just tried to do it more, just be synonymous with being a dope DJ. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sick.
I don't have like a gazillion followers, and like, don't get me wrong, I get a lot of people watching my stuff, whether they follow or not, but like, it's not that for me. Do you know what I mean? If people know or whatever, it's because of my skill set, and that's one thing I'm proud of.
Yeah, that's something I think. Sorry, go on.
Do you know what I mean? I've worked on that over the years, and I'm very, like I said earlier, I'm a perfectionist, and I'm a very like careful in what I do in that sense. So when I get bookings, I know it's from that, and people have seen or they've heard, so that's why they want to book me. It's not because you've got 50,000 followers or you was on this TV show or whatever. It's literally because you're actually sick at what you do.
Completely built on skill and your credentials as a DJ, which is fucking sick, bro.
And you were on a TV show, though. You can't leave that part out of the career.
What?
He was on a TV. Hosted an MTV show.
No, I had my, no. That's the difference, though. I had my own show.
Okay. I think I do remember something like that, actually.
Yeah. So
that's cold.
I had a show on MTV Base called From the Ends. So it's funny because I actually was on Choice and MTV at the same time. With Choice is now Capital Extra.
Yeah.
And then, it's just mad how all of it happened and how all of it stopped, because it was literally nothing I can do. It's just, so the Choice thing, I found out when they were getting taken over. I was in Ibiza, like Double said, I was running around wherever, and I found out, this was happening, that was happening. I'm trying to make calls and whatever, or management is, no one can get through to anybody. And before you know it, they're taken over, and it was just mad long-winded. And then, I think the main issue, which again I didn't know about, but apparently they sent a letter or a contract to management, but management didn't see it, and by the time they saw it, the contract was like a 3-month trial, I guess, because obviously they're all new.
Okay.
And then it was the end of that 3 months. Do you know what I mean? So then when we're trying to hit them up, they're not responding, and then that got long. Then the whole MTV thing, that was the company that was doing their filming or something, I think they got taken over. And they were basically like, we can make your shows for cheaper, and you don't need this and you don't need that.
And got undercut,
Yeah, basically.
Goes on in all industries.
Yeah, so then my show and a few others, like, basically was kind of like, well, you don't need these shows, or you don't, like, we can film it, but you don't need X, Y, and Z. We can just, that's when the whole, if you notice this, especially now, but it's not even music television anymore.
I was about to say, is this an MTV base? MTV base.
Yeah,
and it plays proper videos and shit.
Yeah, and so it just became like shows and reality TV, etc., etc. So again, all of this was happening far beyond my control. And obviously, I was a lot younger then as well. So I didn't even, who would I go to? Who would I speak to, etc. So it just kind of it just frizzled out really. But yeah, no, I had that, but like it wasn't like I went on there to
No,
do
that's
whatever. Like,
lit though, man.
I was
Shit,
actually
I
doing my own thing.
Can we see this? Is it online anywhere? Can we check?
Yeah, there's
I'm not even gonna say where it is. So.
There's definitely clips.
Man's gonna put a little segment in the pod.
Yeah.
Nah, I won't do that to you, bro. Don't worry.
Funny enough, I even came up Manchester. We interviewed you got a Tyler. What's his name now?
One Tyler Daly.
Yeah. But he was
cold.
He was what was his name then?
Hoodman.
That's it. Yeah, Hoodman.
Cold. Wow, that's going
Yeah,
back.
but we came up
Jesus.
there. We came up there. But yeah, it was good. Like to be fair, I'd go as far as to say it wasn't the first, but I think it was probably one of the first shows on a station that was interviewing UK talent. So where it was called From the Ends, like I interviewed N-Dubs when they first came out, Pirelli, Hoodman, Stush, who was the other one? Because there was like 5 or 6 shows. If I forget the other one, they're gonna probably kill me. But yeah,
Oh my.
but it was like literally, when you think of it now, like obviously there's tons of them, but imagine back then there was literally who was interviewing any kind of UK artist.
True stories.
Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it was dope because Trevor Nelson, obviously he had the lick, and then he allowed the show to be put into the lick as well. So I remember one time I was in Napa,
dope.
and obviously on the bar they're showing MTV, innit? And people start tapping, I look, and I'm like,
Yo,
what?
there's
I
my
look,
guy
I'm
on the TV.
Because a minute ago I saw Trevor, so I'm thinking, oh, this the lick, innit? And then all of a sudden I saw my thing, and I'm like, what? Like, I was like, that's dope. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like no one was doing it. You know, so, or not that I know of anyway, to that scale. So, big up Jasmine Dottiwala all the time.
Okay.
She,
Got the plug.
yeah, she, you know, there was a lot of good things happening because at the time, it's even funny. There was a few of us. It was me, Ricky and Melvin, Reggie Yates, Kat, Sarah Love, Ace.
Wow.
Ace was there. Ace. From One Extra. Yeah, there was a few of us.
Yo.
There was a few of us because there was a nice little.
Sounds like a good little family, that, man.
Yeah, I did a throw. I think what's today? I'll put up the picture again tomorrow. There's a picture of all of us where we did like a little photo shoot. But yeah, it was definitely something good was building. But yeah, I mean, you know.
You ever thought about stepping back into that whole presenting interview flex, or that kind of run its course for you now? Or
not really. I mean, I'm always, you know what it is? If opportunities come in it. But me personally, the TV thing, I'll be straight, like, the TV thing was never my interest. Like, I'm, like, obviously, even when I play out, I have an MC. I'm not trying to be out there and, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'm more confident now doing all this kind of stuff in general because it's just experience over the years, isn't it? But in general, that's not really my thing. But if a good opportunity comes up, I'll potentially take it. But even, like, the show was, 6 to 10 minutes? Do you know what I mean? So imagine a 6 to 10 minute show and we're literally filming like half the day. Do you know what I mean? So
that's mad.
When you start thinking of it like that, especially where I am in my life and my career, I'm just kind of like, nah. But like I said, if it makes sense, then yeah. Radio's kind of the same thing. Like, people ask, would I do radio again? Yes and no, but it has to be right. Because I know a lot of shows, you know, radio stations are playlisted now. So it's like, why am I doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just sitting there just pressing the track. Yeah, this was that. Just, do you know what I mean? It's pointless. It would just, I'll probably be cool for a month maybe. And then I'll just get vexed or I'll just be bored. So, do you know what I mean?
Man said he'll just get vexed, you know.
That is true.
Start breaking faders.
No, I'll just get. Or I'll probably just tell them, you know what? Just give me the 5 tracks you want to play. And let me just mix them. I don't care.
Yeah, trust me. I'll make you 5 tracks off the playlist sound lit.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk. Let's go back to the international stuff because there was a reason I brought it up. First of all, one of my favorite sets that I've ever done, I think you're going to know what I'm going to say. One of my favorite DJ sets I've ever done in my life was you, me, Cat B, and do you remember Ross, who was the other resident in the club?
Yeah.
In Cos?
I remember the picture, bro. I can see it in my
Yeah.
head.
And we had, mate, this was amazing. It was a Pioneer like DJM 800 or whatever, the 4-channel one. There was 2 turntables on the outside, 2 CDJs on the inside, and we had one each. Yeah. Completely unrehearsed. It was about 4 a.m. The club was packed, and literally, it was just like a fucking medley of whatever we just felt was happening. We weren't taking it in turns. We were just all just chopping and changing. Bro, I wish we had that recorded, because that was the best back-to-back set I think that's ever happened.
I mean, if filming and stuff was like how it is nowadays, that would have been sick to actually get on camera. But
yeah, someone would have definitely got that on Instagram.
Bro, trust me. We the 4 of us could have made a healthy living off of that set. Do you know what I mean? Like no, honestly, because it was like there was no preparation. I don't even know how we started doing it, because it wasn't like an agreed thing where we go, let's do one each.
You know what it was? I think we just come off, and I think either you or Ross jumped back on, but I think it was just one of them ones where it was such a vibe that I think something was played, and maybe I was like, oh, can I let me play? And you, I think maybe
someone just triggered it, and that was it.
Do you want to just do back to back for the last 10 minutes? Because obviously, you know me. As soon as I'm done, I'm going home. But we literally, it was like, you tell you, I'd finish my set.
It's real. Hear it.
But obviously, I think we finished at 4, like you said. But then our flight was like at 6 or 7. So it was like, what's the point? We might as well stay here and just leave straight from here and go to the airport. So we were like, come, let's get involved. You know what I mean?
Let's just lay this down now real quick.
Bro, it was amazing. But it was, going back to our conversation right at the start, it was one of those kind of sets where like someone might chuck on an R&B thing, and then the next person's just flung in a drum and bass, and then there's somehow a garage one out of that, and then a house tune, then another R&B. But it all worked.
But it wasn't no stopping. It wasn't no stopping. He was mixing and it was working.
Constant. And it was a constant flow. And I mean, I was probably super drunk, so in my head playing it back,
oh my days,
it might have been.
Maybe
I'm gonna find a picture, because people ain't gonna recognize you, bro. People are gonna be like,
maybe the recording of it wasn't a good idea then, Double.
No, but
someone was defo clanging saying that.
Honestly, like,
no, I'm talking about the beard, bro. You want to see the clean shaven version?
Oh shit!
Skinhead, no beard. Yeah, it was.
This is what I'm saying. This is a different Double. I know. Like, listen, when I met him, my word.
Oh my days! Yeah. He's looking like a caveman out here now.
Yeah, this is different, bro.
It's not entirely my fault, but yeah. But no, okay. So yeah, I wanted to just get that in there. That's definitely up there in my favourite sets ever. But the main reason I brought up the international stuff is there's a lot of I don't know if it's confusion or blurred lines over how international DJs should. I don't know if behave's the right word, but the expectations. So there's like the DJs that will pay for their own flights, and they will accept a rock bottom fee and pay for their own food and hotel just to get out there and do a set abroad for Instagram. And then there's the career DJs who are like, okay, yeah, well, I will come to the club, but there's a fee. You have to cover flights and hotel, and transport once I land in your country has to be arranged. Yeah. But I feel like because of the lower end of the scale of DJs, and like the one I just mentioned, I feel like is a standard way that it should be. Nothing diva-ish, like it's just standard. You should pay for the flights, you should pay for my hotel, and when I land there, you need to get me to the hotel and to the club. I don't think that's a diva-ish thing to us, but because of the lower end of the scale, it's almost like nowadays asking for your flights and accommodation and transport to be covered seems like some absolutely fucking wild request. Also, what do you mean? You also want a fee for playing? When we're paying for your flights and your hotel, and you want us to pay for you to play? Like, that seems so wild now, but for me, that's the standard. That's the very minimum.
No, you're right. It is the standard. I think the problem where the problem starts, I think, is it's how much does the event or venue value you? That's the first thing, because as much as it's standard practice to a degree, at the same time, you have to look at it as like, well, if they're maybe getting you last minute or whatever the case is, like, they could be like, well, yeah, it is more for you than it is for us, but like, you could have been a recommendation. It could have been something like that. Do you know what I mean? If it's literally like, oh, we really want you here and blah, 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 but you have to pay for your own shit, it's kind of like,
There's different circumstances.
Yes,
I hear
there's
that.
different circumstances. But I think going back to when we were saying about newer DJs, not even newer DJs, and not experienced DJs, like I can tell you from conversations I've had, like I know there's DJs going to, for example, Mykonos and playing in Mykonos for like £150, but they're literally paying for their flight and hotel. And I'm like, what the hell? But then the conversations that I was having, it was literally like, this is what's happening and this is what I'm fighting against, because like, you know, they want to try and get me there, but then for my price, and obviously, like you said, you got to pay my flight accommodation, they'll be turn around and be like, well, no, because we can get X, Y, and Z. And the thing is, the people that are going there, they're not even just new. Some of them actually have names, or there'll be people that, you know, be like, bro, you're doing that for that. But as we say, the time we're in, it's all about the look for a lot of people.
Trust me.
They just want to have that picture in front of the sea and in this hotel or in this club. And I'm like, the hell is wrong with you? But like I said, for me, this is paying my bills, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? So if I'm leaving my house and I'm having to, let's just say, just for argument's sake, let's just say it's £500, and I'm having to leave my house, and you're only giving me £500. But if I've got to pay for flight and hotel, that's that £500 gone. So why?
You're in the minus, if anything.
That's what exactly. If you factor in travel to and from the airport parking, this is what a lot of people don't realize. I'm again food.
Airport parking as well.
Everyone's different, but me personally, I go door to door in it. So I'm taking my car, I'm parking in the airport. So it's airport parking. When you're in the airport, it's food in the airport. It's potentially food on the plane. If they're that cheap, where you have to obviously bring your cost down. So let's just say you get an EasyJet or something, depending on where you're going. You're then gonna have to get speedy boarding, extra baggage, all the things to make your life comfortable. By the time you do all of that, you ain't getting no £500. You're basically going there for free. So now you're there for a look and to be like, oh, I'm DJing in this place or that place. Like, to me, that's foolish. Don't get me wrong, if you're fresh out the box and you're trying to get out there, you know what? Do what you need to do. However, still have some kind of level, because it also will then show whoever you're playing for, like, oh, okay, as much as they're new, we can't really take the piss. So even if it's like, you know what, you not pay for my flight, I'll sort out my hotel, but they're only paying the person like $150, then it's like, you're still showing them like, no, you cover that, I'll just cover this, because, you know what I mean? Even if there's some kind of negotiation, I still think like everything should be paid for, don't get me wrong. But as a new person, 9 times out of 10, we've all done it. You will be doing stuff for exposure and lesser money. Like, I've never done from what I can remember, I don't think I've ever done anything just for exposure. Even if it was £50, like I got £50 in it, but I've never just gone and done something because someone said like, it's exposure. Like, to me, it's like, bro, even I just spent a year, 2 years learning how to do my craft, and you're not even trying to pay me. Like, no, at least give me my petrol. Do you see what I'm saying? And then let me do my set, you know. But with the international stuff, like you said, Dubs, I think it's the norm for what you're saying. But then on the flip side, a lot of people have changed it to, you can do the landed thing now. So let's just say your fee is $2,000. You can now say to them, all right, I want $5,000 landed. So then obviously with that $5,000, you can, out of that $5,000, you can pay for flights, pay for hotel, your own transport, and then in essence, whatever you're left with, even if you're left with $1,000, 1,500, you could be left with $3,000. Because then you can take the piss, I guess, and get like the cheapest flights, the cheapest everything. Get
them mad connecting flights, so you got 18 stops. Exactly. It takes you a week to get there, but it's cool because I'm making like 4,900 from the booking.
But that's my point. But obviously, there's that way of doing things, which I don't personally like it, because again, it's all stress, in it. And again, for people that don't know and that are not in it like that, you know, I've had people tell me over the years, I'd love to be flying here, and I love flying and doing this. It's like, when you literally live on a plane, or you've done it for, people don't understand how stressful it actually is. Do you know what I mean? Just going to and from the airport.
It sounds great, and the actual club bit is sick, but people don't see all the in between, and it's tiring, and it is.
Bro,
I've not travelled to the extent you have, but I can only imagine. Like,
look at this.
It hurts.
Like Dubl said, like, I would land in, I can't remember the exact timings of course, but for example, a couple of years ago in Napa, I'd land in Napa at 12:30, 1 o'clock at the airport. Time I get to the hotel, it's like 2 o'clock. Yeah, my set's at 3. I finish at 6. The flight's at 8:30.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, like now, if you just start out, yeah, you're excited. Like, yo, I'm not sleeping. I'm doing my thing. When you do this for how many years and that becomes your norm, like it's not healthy, but that's not fun. Like, it literally isn't fun. And especially, like I said earlier, with me being a perfectionist, how I am, if I'm tired or I'm like say the flight was shit, or I had a screaming baby, or people kicking my seat, or like there could be anything. Do you know what I mean? But your whole energy and vibe when you get to the venue now is all messed up. Yeah. So then now you're trying to actually be on a hype and play properly. Then do you know what I mean? Then you got to leave again. Then let's just say you leave at 8, so you get back to the UK, say 11 midday. Then it's like you got to live your normal life, for example, or you may have a booking. Let's just say up north somewhere. So then, do you go home first, or do you drive straight up north to that hotel? And do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that goes into it which people don't see. Like you said, they only see the shiny videos and the club shots and whatever, and they're like, yeah, this is amazing, I want to do it. And it's like, before all the actual DJ work and technical work's done to actually get you to a good level to be able to allow you to do all of these things, then when you get there, you've now got to deal with all these other things, which is another, it's mindset, and some people aren't built for it. Like, literally, some people can't do the whole... I remember the worst I've done is like 3 countries in 3 days, but I took, I think, 9 planes or 12 planes or something. Wow. Yeah, and that was only because so it was like Ibiza, Mallorca, and one of those other islands around there. I think it might have been, what was the other one? Ibiza, Mallorca, and one of those other Spanish islands. But because of the way it was, I had to take them proper propeller planes as a connection. Like, it was crazy. But it was that bad where I did it and I knew I was tired, but I got back to Ibiza and I had to do a set, and my man just saw me, was like, what's wrong with you? He looked at me and he was like, and the thing is, even when they worked out the schedule, even they knew, it was like, yo, this is going to be a lot. And I said, nah, it's cool, I'll do it. Literally, I was meant to do a set. I got to the bar because I literally landed and went straight there. He was like, yo, go back to the hotel. He was like, nah, go and sleep. We get whoever to come and play. Because he could see, like, and that's the thing, like, it takes so much out of you.
Yeah, it really does. I find, you know what, like, I'm a proper super relaxed guy around everything. But airports, that's the thing. When you're before you've got through security, before you're on the plane and stuff, there is just that level of stress in it that's just always there. Like, I need to catch this flight. I've got time is up against me, and I've got to get through security. Even though I know I'm doing nothing wrong, but it might be a massive queue, or they might just pull me up for something. Like, it's that element of stress that just sits in the back of your brain. Yeah. When you then have to do that over like 3 days or a week and do it several times because you have a summer tour, like, it's crazy. And
even for the whole, like, there was a period of about 6 years, I'd say, for about 6 years straight, from May to October every year I was away. For about 6 years straight. Like, literally, I was flying more than I drove my car.
Yeah.
We had this conversation with Puffy, innit? We were saying about, like, the traveling.
Puffy, listen, he is that guy there, and the thing is, he's got so much energy. He makes me laugh.
Bro,
got so much energy, and literally, he's all over the place. Like, when the last time I saw him in Dubai, like, I had just come back from, I think I was in Abu Dhabi. Then I came back and I knew they were there, and I'm like, nah, I need to go and check them because I haven't seen them in a while. Saw him, I was there for like half an hour. He jumped on, stayed for some of his set. And I was like, yo, I'm leaving. He's like, where you going, bro? I was like, bro.
with the Puffy. Where you going?
I can't. I said, fam. He's like, no, man, you just got here. I'm like, bro. But he knows how I'm like as well. So he's just like, all right, cool. I said, look, tomorrow I'll come and check you lot, innit? But I can't, like I said, some people's energy, they can do all of that and they don't mind it to a degree. Do you know what I mean? Me, I can do a lot and I can make it work, but yeah. It
goes back to what you said, brother. I feel like when I was younger, I wasn't too bothered about catching the flights. But as I've got older, now I've got to make it as easy for me as possible to fast tracking your luggage, all that kind of, like, or the extra leg room if I'm flying on a long haul flight, like all these ones.
All of that.
All of that. In my head, I'm already starting to fall apart before we've even left the country. I'm like, this is going to be long.
No, exactly. It's the same. It's the
You
same.
know what it is as well, though? It's got to a point where all of us have travelled enough. And like Scotty, I'm exactly the same as you. Like, I remember the first time, and funny enough, Twice as Nice was my first overseas booking. One of the original DJ had lost his passport, or just found out his passport had expired 2 days before he was meant to fly to Bulgaria, or the day before or something. So Joe from Twice as Nice, shouts to Joe, she called me, and this is when I was just like, the warm-up resident. You remember we used to do those shows in like Swindon and Bristol and stuff like that? I used to warm up for you for Twice as Nice.
Yeah.
And then I remember she called me and she was like, we need like a secondary DJ for Bulgaria flying out tomorrow. Have you got a passport? And that was my first one. It was like, yeah, shit, I've got a passport. Let's go. I remember being so excited. I would have done that shit for free. But then the fact that there was a fee on top and they're like, right, this is the fee. And it was like Twice as Nice paid well for their shows abroad. And looking back now, I remember how excited I was up to a point where there was a time where, not to do with Twice as Nice, I flew to Greece and I was in Greece for 6 hours before I then had to fly home. And mate, I was dead for like 2 days after that.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh.
And you still got shit to do when you get home, innit? It's not as if you can go home and chill.
You know what's one of the maddest stories? I remember I did a show. I can't remember where it was, and I remember I landed back, and it's just funny enough. It's the same kind of conversation. I landed back, and I just was in my car, driving back. I think I was on like the M11 or something, and they called me. It was like, "Where are you?" I said, "I just landed. I'm on my way home. Do you want to do whatever country it was?" I was like, "What?" I was like, well, yeah, when is it? Well,
tomorrow.
You need to get to Gatwick in 2 hours. Can you do that? I was like, what?
Yo.
Bro, I literally had to just cut off Emily and just drive straight to Gatwick. And I literally just landed. Do you know what I mean? This is the thing. It's crazy how a lot of these things can play out. But like you said, when it's early stages, it's exciting. And not that it's not exciting now. It's obviously we're grateful to do all these things, but like, people have to understand when it's your job, like, as much as it looks fun and all this kind of thing, like, this, when people say like, oh, but, you know, you're lucky to be doing that and blah, 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 not being funny, like, you could choose to do whatever you want. You know what I mean? I don't do the 9 to 5 thing because I just personally don't like it. Like, you may have to do it, so that's your choice, or you can choose not to do it. Do you know what I mean? Just because what you see is people playing music or kicking a football around or whatever, that's their choice, or that's what they've got into. Do you know what I mean? You can't knock someone because you see them flying around and you think like, oh, I'm stuck in the office. Well, bro, that's your choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, but just because it's your choice doesn't mean that it's any easier on us. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't have to get up at 6 a.m. I'm going to sleep at 6 a.m. or 9 a.m. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I can potentially sleep a bit longer. But if we go from like what Dubl was saying, like when things are at its peak, like we can then be, like, say when I'm doing a mix CD or something, if I'm the quickest I've done it was in like 3 or 4 days. I was in the studio for nearly 48 hours, no sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So if you compare that to like, can someone with a 9 to 5 do that? They couldn't do that at all. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not just it comes in roundabouts. We might not do nothing. Like, some DJs literally only fully play out during the summer, so they might not do nothing for the other 4 or 5 months. Do you know what I mean? They might do bits and pieces here and there, but it's relaxed. But at the same time, when you look at it that way, it's like, bro, for 6 months, I'm full on.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
and
that 3-4 months,
it's like 24 hours full on as well. Isn't it? It's the only time you are not working or thinking about work is when you are sleeping.
And that's if you get to sleep.
That's like, yeah, if you're lucky, it's a 6-hour sleep.
Right.
The DJing bit's the easy bit, bro. Like,
this is what I'm saying.
Like the rest of it that comes around it, it's super demanding.
And that's the thing. That's the thing people don't see. And even, like I said, even as we sit here trying to explain it, there's going to be people that obviously aren't in and don't understand, and they're still going to be looking at it like, nah, but you're still lucky and you're still this. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, we're very lucky, etc., etc. However, 100%. Don't ever think that this is an easy job. Don't ever think that it's you know, it's a simple thing you can do. Nowadays it looks simple because, yeah, like we said earlier, a man or a girl could come in and be like, yeah, here, I'll just press play, I'll line up these numbers, yeah, look, I'm sick. They're not even tired because really you're not even using your brain to think. You see what I'm saying? So what are you tired from? Like, oh, I just flew for 6 hours. Yeah, but because you're probably paying for your flight, you paid for yourself to have the first class or business class lifestyle. You got here, you're just pressing buttons anyway. You're not going to be tired. Like, you're going to look all excited.
Light work.
Yeah. But then you haven't got any anything afterwards to show for it.
I feel like even the going to bed at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. over the years, bro, like you become like it makes you a different person, man. That shit is being able to sleep at a normal time these last few months and get like I'm in bed midnight, getting up at 7, 8. I ain't never seen that shit in my life, bro.
No, but you know
like
it's a real thing though. Like actually, if you sleep in pitch black, it's better for your body than if you sleep and there's light.
True.
Like your body can fully recharge properly if you're in the pitch black. Like that's a real thing. There's been studies.
Yeah,
I can't quote what studies, but I just know that
this guy coming with a scientific fact.
When I was in Dubai, we literally couldn't sleep. For the earliest we went to sleep when we was living in Dubai, the earliest was like 4:30 a.m. And then it literally got later and later. There was a period of about 3 weeks when I was living there at one stage. For about 3 weeks, no word of a lie, went to sleep at 9, then 11, then 12, then 1 in the afternoon. Bro, when I tell you, we just could not sleep. Like literally, we were going to sleep at like 1, 2 in the afternoon, waking up again at 7, 8, eating, going straight to the club. Like, that lifestyle. It's mental, bro.
I swear I remember having a phone conversation with you actually, and you was like, it's like 10:30. I was like, "What, you playing last night?" Yeah. Well, why are you up so early? No. I'm still up.
I'm still up.
I haven't gone to bed yet. I'm still awake.
And people have to understand, like, obviously, if you know me, you know, innit? But I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do none of that. So obviously, there's certain people out there like, yeah, just have a few drinks and do whatever. Yeah, like, nah, bro, none of that. Like, it's literally, because to me, to be fair, if that what gets you through, that can get you through, innit? That's up to you. But to me, you're not thinking straight, so you're not going to be performing right, innit? But, like, again, like it takes a toll on your body. Everything does, do you know what I mean? So sleep is one of the worst things. If you don't get that.
Do you feel like you've ever sacrificed much by not drinking and getting fully into the party thing? Because like you said earlier, like you turn up, shell the set, and then a lot of the time, as soon as your set's done, because you're not sticking around, like you might stick around for a bottle of water just to be polite with the promoter or the manager or whatever, but more times you're not there to party afterwards, you're gone. Do you ever feel like you kind of sacrificed a party experience?
No, because I still, don't get me wrong, there's places where I've stayed and I've partied to a degree, but like for me, it's my upbringing. Like my mum, listen, my mom's one of my biggest inspirations. She's party queen. Do you know what I mean? But one thing about my mum, it's always been about the vibe and the music for her.
Right.
She's never like, yeah, she'll have a drink now and again or whatever, but she's not, you know, she don't get drunk. She's not that kind of thing. It's always about the music and the vibe. So for me, it's the same thing. And like I said, if there's a dope DJ or someone that I want to hear or I know it's going to be good, then sometimes I will stay a little bit. It depends where I am as well. Obviously, if I'm far out and I've got a long drive, then yeah, cool, I'm going to bounce. But if it's like I'm staying somewhere, then it's like, yeah, cool, I'll stick around for a bit if I know the person's good. But if they're not, then it's kind of like, it's just going to piss me off more because I'm standing there. I'm like, I should have just stayed on for another hour and just, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them ones.
Yeah.
But in general, like, nah, for me, as long as the music vibes, I don't need to drink or do anything. Like, that's the vibe for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is.
Some DJs get dependent on the liquor to perform, innit? Like, I know people that can't play without it
as well. Yeah,
That's
there's certain
mad.
people I know where they have to drink just to, whether it's calm nerves or, and when I say drink, I don't mean like get wasted or nothing, but they have to drink just
loosen
to
up
kind
a
of,
bit.
yeah, and to be fair, like that's fine. Like if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But me personally, when I've seen people go over the top and they literally can't hold a mix or they're swaying and all that kind of stuff, but you're still trying to do, it's like, come on, that's unprofessional. Like you're meant to be, you've got how many people in front of you, that's who's meant to be swaying and doing a madness, you know what I mean? Not you. Like,
Yeah. I'm down the middle now.
Must be a Manny thing, bro, because the DJs, they get lit on set. I don't drink I don't really drink no more, but you know, I've had a couple wavy ones over the years.
I used to be just completely sober. But I don't know, there was a moment in time, actually like back in Greece, when I did the residency in Greece, I spent most of that summer absolutely smashed. But there was a point, I don't know what point, but when I was doing guest sets, I would have a drink. And especially when I started doing overseas guest sets, like especially with the Twice as Nice bookings, and then following that when I was getting booked just off my own name, if I knew I didn't have to drive anywhere after the club, or I was getting driven home to the hotel, well, I'm having a drink. Like,
but you know what? That's all good. But I think it's each to their own, and there's nothing wrong with it because obviously people drink, people don't drink. My whole way of looking at it is this: like, why do you drink? Do you see what I'm saying? People are like, oh, to get lit and it's like, yeah, but what's it giving you? Like,
Right, yeah.
do you see what I'm saying? Like, even if I just look at it from just black and white perspective, like, it's not healthy for you. It's not. It makes you feel out of control, etc., etc. If that's the feeling you like, then cool, in it. That's your prerogative. But me personally, it's not doing nothing for me. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like, one, I don't want to feel like that, but then at the same time, like I said, it's not giving me anything extra. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I want to hear a song, or if I want to go and chat to someone or whatever, I want to see them clearly and know what I'm doing and hear. You see what I'm saying?
Not wake up the next day thinking,
bro, listen, I have this thing, bro, when I drink now, I wake up the next day, I feel like every person in the dance hates me.
Bro, you know what? You know what's funny?
What did I do last night? What did I say?
Experience. Funny enough, I had this experience on Sunday, and I don't even know who this person was, and I actually tried to go and look for them because this DJ came in, and me being how I am, it's like, oh, what's going on? So I was just like, yeah, cool, what's happening? Is like, started talking. Then they said they know certain people that I know or other DJs. I was just like,
them ones.
Right. But yeah, exactly. But I'm still doing my set. Then this person's like, do you want to have a scratch off? I was like, what? Like, bro, imagine someone coming
like
up to you. That's not even...
Pause.
Bro, that's like, imagine if I came to Manchester right now and I saw, oh, Stylist is DJ, and I come into the club like, Stylist, yeah, come, let's have a scratch. Like, even, I know you.
Bro.
Even
What
that in
even,
itself,
what
you'd be
even
like,
is that?
What?
What even is that?
Right.
Like,
I was just like,
what's
you know
a
what?
scratch off? I've never even heard that before.
So I was just like, you know what? I just kept it moving. Then he kept coming back. Then he's seen the sound effects thing. I got a new sound effects thing now. And he's like, oh, what's that? Oh, is that how you do? Like, just pure talking while I'm DJ. I'm like, what are you doing? Then he's like, he's basically pushed my wife out of the way. So then
days.
That's when I switched. I was just like, nah, bro, like, you're taking the piss now, innit? So then I moved him. He said something, so I switched on him. He's walked off. He's come back, but it's like, he kind of done a shook one. Remember I said there's no lights in it. He's like, he's walked past like this here, and I just heard, should be more humble, you know. I was like,
oh my days.
When I heard that, I was like, nah.
Bro.
I was like, in my head, I was like, I beg this guy come
like
back,
my man's trying to put it on you, you know.
Bro.
Some reverse psychology.
Listen. So then, yeah, like, he came, funny enough, he actually did come back. So I put the headphones down, and then one guy, like, I don't know who he was, but he was a lot bigger than me. He's like, nah, bro, Larry, I got him, don't worry. I was just like, because, yeah, people...
When some people just don't know the limits, innit? Like, especially when you're trying to DJ. I don't even really like my people's in the booth too tough whilst I'm trying to perform.
I don't have nobody next to me, unless it's like family or my wife, or like, I guess, obviously, if it's, like, say you lot or whatever, like, other than that, I don't have nobody around me.
Especially with your focus, man. Well, yeah, especially with you, bro. Fucking hell.
It's knocking people out.
Yo, so someone even tweeted me before. I posted that he was coming on the pod today, and some DJs put, what did he post? He put, interviewer, how many Pioneer mixer faders and cue buttons have you worn down to nothing during your DJ career?
See, it's not just me that says it.
You know what's funny?
This is a known thing.
That's the DJ in Finland, that is. There's at least from Finland, bro.
Finland, wow.
Mad.
Where's my thing? Because SJ actually bought me for one of my birthdays. He bought me some Pioneer faders and some blue tack.
Oh my days!
And to this day, it's actually still in my headphone case. Like, because there's some clubs I get to and they actually don't have it there. So I'm just like, you know what? Just there you go, and I just put it on there. But yeah, he actually bought me blue tack and stuff.
That's a DJ accessory, innit? Fucking hell, blue tack. This guy's equipped.
No, I actually know what you mean with the faders because I was so used to being in a club after Scottie B, I actually started keeping faders in my bag.
This guy.
I have them in my bag. It's true.
But they make them stronger now. I haven't broken any in however long. They make them stronger now. So
true stories. Yo, Dubl, this podcast has gone on. Scotty's laptop has run out of memory now.
Bro,
you know,
it keeps coming up. He keeps telling me like,
oh shit, does it? Oh my days.
No, don't worry though. If it breaks down, then you know why.
We have,
just don't want it to crash and it doesn't keep the file because then it'll be peak.
We've reached a new record. Scottie B.
Yeah, this is our longest episode still. I feel like this could be 2 parts.
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, I've got to bounce now anyway, so I think that's a good place.
There you go.
It's a good place. It's a good place to round it off. But without a doubt, I mean, there's stories upon stories and advice and all sorts.
I feel
like this could have gone on. I've got questions here that we didn't even get to, but
more
you
stuff.
know,
So you know what?
We can make a part 2 next time, innit? Whenever you're ready, we do it again and just ask those other ones, man.
That's it. We need to get you back on, even not just a part 2, but more regularly as well. Because as a DJ that's experienced every transition of DJing, and you're still able to fly around the world and still keep it relevant, still stay on top of the music. You've got your fingers in the production game as well, like the experience that you have and all the knowledge that you can bring. Like the point of this podcast is not just to bring stories to the DJs like us that they can have a listen and a chuckle. The younger DJs, I get so many messages from younger DJs that are like, yo, I listened to the podcast and I've learned so much about it already and I know how to get started and this and that. So yeah, without a doubt, man, you've got to become
I do
a
a lot
regular.
of that in my classes as well. Like I try and share as much as I can with, you know, with newer DJs and what they should and shouldn't be doing. Like, you know, even the record pools or where to get music, how to set music, how to make edits, like everything. Like I try and just give as much information as I can, because like you said, you know, people don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As much as we had to learn ourselves, there's actually, you know, you can just ask questions and just, yeah.
It's on us as our generation of DJs.
I was just about to say Dubl's going to get it in.
It's on us.
We've got to pass on the knowledge.
Yeah, we do, man, because there's so many DJs in our bracket that are like, no, I've learned it all and I don't want to tell you because it took me a lot to learn it and now you need to go through the hardships and learn that shit for yourself. But it's like, you know what? If we actually share the knowledge that we have, then we won't have to complain about unskilled DJs taking up all the jobs, because all the new DJs will learn from us and they'll all be fucking sick because they'll take what we can do and make it even better. I don't even know if that's possible.
I hear it.
Like, you know what? Just a quick one before you go. Like, I did the lesson yesterday and the little 12-year-old, Tiz Jr. Literally, I felt so proud because obviously he's learned with Serato, he's looking at his laptop. So we've just been literally just doing basically like training drills. So I was mixing, like he dips his laptop so it's down so he can't see no waves and he's just mixing. And we were going to start with the next level up was like using the EQs and stuff. But he already knows in his head, it was just his timing. So we did he had like 5 tracks he was mixing. I think I've recorded it on my phone actually, but it's through the speakers. I don't know how clear it's going to be. And literally, it's like he got the mix in and he's there, he did the bass and he's cutting and because he's got his control, he's done the echo out and all that. And I'm like, there. Like, I felt mad, like,
12 years old as well.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like, before he knew what he was doing, but he just needed the direction. And then now he's got it, just looking at him, just like, right, he's literally straight away. He's just fast forwarded to like how, you know, all these 18 to 20 or 25-year-olds where they're at already, and they can't even do that. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's just about sharing the knowledge, and as long as they implement it and keep it going, then
most definitely, man.
That's a good one to finish on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Scottie B.
Scotty, man, thank you for coming on, my G.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Pleasure, man.
It's appreciated, bro.
Sick.
Good,
yo, where can the man then follow you before we go? Actually, I know you don't use the socials too tough.
No, Instagram's the main one. Instagram's the main one. I know Dubl does the edit. Dubl, can you do this? Look, right here.
No, Stylist does the videos.
That's my job on this.
Your job. Right, cool. Yeah, look, right here.
I got you, bro. I got the pop-ups and all that. They'll be there, bro. Don't worry.
So you got my website, scottyb.com, or all my socials at ScottieB UK. Mainly on Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, to be fair, I look at Twitter, but I don't really get involved because it's like this. For me, it's kind of like...
It's quite political on there, isn't it? It's long.
Not even just that, but if I got something to say, I'm going to call you up, innit? I'm going to be like Stylers or Dubs, like... I don't see the point. Why am I having a conversation for everybody with you? But that's the thing. If it's me, like us three right now, if we sat on Twitter right now, so what do you think of it?
Just going at it.
Yeah, like, bro, I'll just call you. Like, that's just me, innit? But yeah, so at ScottieB UK and ScottieB.com.
Sick. Scotty, my G, good to speak to you, brother.
And you, man.
Yeah,
next time, man.
So, hashtag TalkOver Podclass, of course, for people that are listening for the first time. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube as well. We're back on YouTube. We've been, I've got to stop saying we're back on YouTube because we've been back on YouTube for a minute.
Well, we've been back on YouTube for the whole of lockdown, man.
So we're on YouTube. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Scottie B, absolute legend in the business. And then we'll be back again next week, probably, with something else.